today's guest speaker is David and Marie with California Title Company. Welcome, you guys, again. So next, here's our agenda for today's webinar. First, we're going to teach you how to find an HOA. Second will be HUD Homes. Third will be short sales. And then CRMLS violations, some tips to start the new year. And then California Title Company will give you more information on their services. So next. Okay, first off, we recently had an issue come up where there was a property and they didn't realize that there was two HOAs on the property. So some properties can have an interior and an exterior HOA. So what we put together here is some ways for you to be able to find out more information on the property. Really important, especially when you're listing. You can check with your escrow officer. They may be able to help you, as well as I would check out other listings in the area to see what, ones that have closed recently or that are active on the market. But some of the steps that we've put out here would be find the name of the subdivision or the community. And when you do so, you could go to your local county assessor's website by searching the property information, and you can pull up the name of that community there. You may be able to find more information that way. The second would be find the association's corporation information. That would be the State Corporations Commission website. And then we found this website here that you can search by county, that the link at the bottom of the page there. Next. Okay, so once you find your association, or you can locate the recorded documents by going through the county recorder's office. And these are some of the documents that may be there would be the declaration of covenants, conditions, restrictions, amendments, notices, bylaws, plots, surveys, judgments, liens, and other community related documents. Then step 4 is you want to verify that you have the correct association. So in order to determine if an association governs a property, one will have to review the following documents. As mentioned, the plat or the subdivision map. These documents illustrate what lots, properties are part of a particular subdivision. The association CC&Rs typically list the lot numbers that are within the development and part of the association. The particular one that was an issue recently, when you look at the CC&Rs, they're stated there. It wasn't real clear, but 2 different names were mentioned. So it's best to research it if there's any question about it. Okay. The last one, a property deed typically provides that the property is subject to our covenants and may list the recording number in the county where the covenants are recorded. Next. Okay, so the CC&Rs, as you mentioned, will provide the legal description of the property subject to the association, and that's found in the exhibits. And then once you do have the information, yourself or the escrow officer can contact them, and here you can obtain the fees, special assessment, board member meetings, and all of the association governing documents. And CAR actually has a form that you can use for that. And then the homeowner has the right to inspect and have a copy of those association documents. Next. Okay, Sarah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah. So we just wanted to touch base a little bit on HUD Homes. We are registered with HUD. And so if you go to your agent tools page, you'll see on the left-hand column, we have a HUD link. And then it'll kind of walk you through buying HUD properties with the link and how to register yourself as a bidder. It has like all the broker information that you'll need and anything like that to get you guys set up with that. So what is a HUD home? A HUD home is a 1 to 4 unit single family residence acquired as a result of a foreclosure on an FHA insured mortgage. They're offered for sale at fair market value based upon recent appraisals varying in price, location, and condition. The HUD homes are all throughout the state. Some are move-in ready, and some are not. And so you'll have all of that information when you register as a bidder on the websites. What's really great benefits of buying the HUD homes is that one, not all brokers are registered with HUD. We are, so that's a bonus. A bonus too is that HUD will pay up to 3% of the buyer's closing costs. That will be negotiated in the contract. And it's for primary resident like owner occupants only. So as long as that buyer is going to be, that's going to be their primary residence. They get priority bidding and they get the benefit of a low EMD, 500, 1,000, 2,000. So it's definitely below what typical EMDs are required in home sales. So.
Very good. And a couple of other tips on HUD Homes. They have a quick turnover on, once you win the bid, they're going to ask for signatures. So we do provide a letter. If you win the bid, just contact info@REeBrokerCA.com. We'll give you a letter stating that you can sign in place of the broker. Just remember, everything has to be in blue ink and really follow those guidelines regarding, submitting the package. Some of them are 24 hours that you have to get it back to them over, an overnight mail. So if you have any questions, just contact us. We'd be happy to help. Next.
And then just another reminder, we do have everything on our agent tools. You'll be able to find more information there too, and our agent documents.
Perfect. And then the next thing we wanted to talk about is short sales. So we were recently contacted by one of our agents wanting to work with a company, and the first thing they state on their document is we're not licensed. Well, the DRE, they put out this link here that we've provided for you about if you're going to be doing short sales, you do have to be licensed. So here, for those of you that don't know what a short sale is, it's a pre-foreclosure residential real estate transaction where the owner of the mortgage loan, the lender or lien holder agrees to allow the homeowner to sell their property for less than or short of the outstanding amount owed on the mortgage loan and to release the property from the mortgage. So what is a short sale consultant? It's someone who advises on short sales. Depending on the agreement between the parties involved, the typical short sale consultant assists a homeowner or seller's agent to prepare a short sale application package, submit it to the homeowner's lender, and negotiate with the lender on the homeowner's behalf to approve the short sale. And do they have to be licensed? Yes. If the short sale consultant negotiates real estate loans or performs services for buyers or lenders, both the short sale consultant and the short sale consulting company must be properly licensed with the DRE. More specifically, unless an exemption applies, a real estate license is required for someone who, for compensation or an expectation of a compensation, does or negotiates to do any of the following acts. So all of these listed below, you would need an NMLS license to do that. The last one, we don't collect any payments. If you are doing a short sale, CAR has a form that states whether or not you would be charging. We cannot charge up front because we do not do any advance collection of payments. That's a whole nother ballgame with DRE. They have to approve all of those agreements. So we don't even go there. If you're going to get paid at the end at the close of escrow, then that's it. Then that's acceptable. Next. Okay, so you want to be aware of short sale fraudulent activities. Unlicensed short sale facilitators, which they find pre-foreclosure properties and they persuade lenders to accept lower purchase offers, sometimes using straw buyers, questionable BPOs or appraisals, or withholding information on high price sales that are previously on the table or negotiated. And then payments made outside of escrow, especially if there's multiple lenders or lien holders are involved, or an unlicensed short sale processor. Years ago, when short sales were real prominent, I received a call from an agent saying they want to do some payments outside of escrow. I said, it's not acceptable. And she's like, well, everybody's doing it. Well, it doesn't make it right. So it can lead it to RESPA violations or loan fraud. And again, we give you the link to the DRE information here. Next. Okay, so if you'd like to get certified to do short sales, we're providing more information here. This information is from NAR. And basically you have to be in good standing with them, have an active membership with NAR and your local association. And it's a $305 to get the online class, or if you wanted to go take a class, you could do that as well. And then to get their certificate, $175. So together, $305. Next. Okay, Sarah.
Yes. Okay, so we just wanted to touch base a little again about MLS violations. I feel that we've kind of touched base on this the last few webinars, but we wanted to just kind of do a little bit of a reminder again. So here are some really great links to the CRMLS about their violations. The top link is about the top rule violations, and those are ones that are very easy to avoid as long as you read what each of those rules state. So the exterior photo requirements, branded photos and media, copyright issues, mandatory submission upon marketing. That means you have to submit that listing agreement within 24 hours. The misuse of the public remarks section on the MLS, and inaccurate information and the auto sold status. So those are the top rule violations for the CRMLS. I did provide a link as well to the automatic violations. It's a rather long list, so I didn't list them all here. So please take a look at that. It's about a 5-page list, and these are rules that and violations that they will just automatically charge you for. You won't get a warning. And what's really difficult about those is that it may come back to the brokerage. So if you don't take care of that violation, if you don't pay that fee, the brokerage could be in violation and therefore shut down for all agents across the board. So we really don't want that. We want to avoid that. And then the last link is about registering listings. So CRMLS Rule 7.8 is the mandatory delivery of the listing agreement, which requires listing brokers to submit their listings to the MLS within 2 days of the effective date on the listing contract. Historically, complying with the rule has meant to either put the listing on the MLS as active or coming soon, or filing with the MLS the SELM form, which excludes the listing per the buyer's or per the lister, the seller's instructions. And so submitting the form to the MLS allows the agent and broker to keep the listing off the MLS. And the registered process in CRMLS allows the agents and brokers to exclude the listing from the MLS while still maintaining and being in compliance with the Rule 7.8, which is the mandatory delivery. So even if your seller doesn't want it listed on the MLS, you still have to provide the listing agreement to the MLS within 2 days. So that's one that we see agents miss when their sellers don't want the property listed on the MLS. So, okay, thanks.
Thank you,
Next.
Sarah. Okay, so here we have some tips on what agents should focus on in 2023. So the digital savvy consumer, which is your potential clients, have access to more options than any other generation before, and real estate is no exception. So you want to attend trainings like this one, Association of Realtors, whether it be your local one or one near you. Those trainings are really good as well. And CAR has a good list of trainings as well on their website. If you've never weathered a market shift, now's the time to prepare. Focus on trainings and boost your experience and certifications. Focus on relationships, which is your sphere of influence, past clients. These are people who already know and trust you. And you want to simplify your cost, trim the fluff, and put money into what works and saves time, and streamline processes. Yesterday, I received a call from an agent that's looking, they were asking about a marketing company that contacted them, and the marketing company would put them on Google and, different other online platforms. And they were offering 2 posts a day for $600 a month. Well, if you use some of the tools that we have in our marketing hub, or even YouTube has a lot of good sources, you may be able to save yourself some money that way and do some of it yourself. And the last one we wanted to mention is partnerships, is networking. Find like-minded individuals in your area and work together. When I was in the market, I joined the Chamber of Commerce and got a lot of leads, as deals from people that were members or came to events. So really get out in your community as well. Okay. next.
So we just wanted to give a little bit of a announcement here. Salespeople, brokers, broker associates, and independent contractors, you are now liable for sexual harassment in your professional relationships with your clients, whether you have terminated your relationship or not. Therefore, CAR recommends that you complete a 1-hour training, sexual harassment training, and a 1 hour, and then you just renew that 1 hour every 2 years afterwards. It's definitely highly recommended for sales agents to take the training. It's not required, but it is recommended. As an independent contractor status at this point, like I said, you don't have to, but it is recommended. On the brokerage level, all of us employees do have to take it. So it is just good information since as independent contractors, you are held liable. So you definitely want to get ahead of it, precautionary, just kind of do the training, see what exactly to avoid, what situations. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, next, Marie and David, you want to take it away?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marie Belknap with California Title. I am a sales associate here in the North County, San Diego area. And we also have David Skarman, my partner, who is the Vice President of Sales for Southern California. And this morning, for the next few minutes, instead of going into title report specifics or really traditional farming, we are going to just touch on a few tools and applications that we provide that we feel are not only more unique to our company, but also even more importantly, beneficial to you as agents, because we do know and we've seen the market is, of course, changing even more so now. And as agents, you guys are required to really be in front of those changes in order to be successful. So what we try to do is arm you with these applications to create these opportunities to make you as successful as possible, no matter what the market. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Skarman.
Good morning. Thank you, Marie, and thank you, Kathy and Sarah, for having us back. Super excited to be here because I want to touch on a couple things. I have a pad of paper in front of me and I wrote down one thing: simplify cost, simplify your cost. And that's really a great lead in to what I'm going to talk about. So again, my name is David Skarman. I am the VP and the General Manager for Cal Title. I've been with the company for 26 years. And one thing that's unique to us, especially right now, is that we have a global view of what's happening in California. So we service the entire state of California. We see what's going on, who's being successful, and who's not. We know it's a changed marketplace. So what we are seeing right now is there's really two types of agents that are doing deals today and that are succeeding. One of them is obviously that very entrenched 10, 15, 20-year agent who has a massive sphere of influence, has a giant database, has a very big referral program going, and has that machine that just continues to move. But we are seeing that they are also down. We are seeing that they are doing a quarter of the business that they used to do. Some of those people don't change their ways. They're so stuck in what they're doing that they continue to focus on what was successful in the past. The other group that we see are the agents that are actively farming right now, that are looking at the opportunity that exists. And what they're doing is a little bit different today. They're not so much throwing a giant net in an area and direct mailing. They are getting laser focused and they are simplifying their cost. So what I want to do is share with you kind of what we're seeing in the marketplace today, where we're seeing sales take place, and how we can help you do that. So number one, and I always use myself as an example, I've lived in the same house. I would be considered an empty nester, except I'm an older dad and I won't be an empty nest for a long time, but I've lived in my home for 2 decades. I've got an enormous amount of equity in my house. I have a 2.5% interest rate. I have two little guys running around in 1,400 square feet, and people are coming to me, sell your house, you have so much equity, move. I can't afford to move. And why is that? Because I have a 2.5% interest rate. 70% of the country, 70% of the country has an interest rate under 4.5%. There's another 30% of the country, including myself and probably a lot of you on this call, that have an interest rate under 3%. I can't afford to have a 6% interest rate. I can't afford to have a 5% interest rate. I'm locked in. So where do we go in this marketplace? We need to go after the people who don't need to move. We need to go after the people who don't need to move. So who are those individuals? So we're seeing two groups that are right now, they're the lowest hanging fruit. We see brokerages out there that are taking aim and taking focus on these groups, and that is the absentee owners. Now, there's two groups within the absentee owners that are important to know. One is going to be your out-of-state absentee owner, and the second one is going to be the general absentee owner in any given farm area. So if I could share my screen, that would be fantastic. And I'm going to go to screen share, and boom, here we go into our tools. Now, these tools are free to all of you. These tools are accessible by everyone. All you need to do is go to, first off, www.caltitle.com. That's caltitle.com. And when you click on, you'll see it's a beautiful landing page, and you'll see property info. Click on property info. It's going to ask you to open an account. Okay. Again, this is completely free to you. So here's what we're seeing. We're seeing that, and I'm going to go into my farms, and I'm going to go to one that I've already created to be able to save time here. So when you go into our tools, what you are going to do is you are going to create your own farm. There's a couple different ways to do it. We are here to help you. All you have to do is give us a call. And what we do is we talk about casting a broad net. So this is an area that I have mapped out. And what we can do is for each one of you, we can customize, we can give you the ability, we can coach you through it. We can have training classes, we can do one-on-one, we can do a group where we can teach you how to do this in your own given farm geographic area. But what we want to talk about is casting that broad net. So in this case, that broad net is an area called Foothill Ranch, and it is comprised of 877 properties. So if you look over here at the right, you'll see that there's 877 properties, average year zones 20, average transfer value is 600,000. That is, let me tell you, people have equity in this area. But in regards to what we were talking about earlier about simplifying cost, how effective is it for me in this marketplace with the budget that I have, with the marketing dollars that I have to spend, which, by the way, have to be consistent, have to be concise. I'm probably going to be competing against somebody in this market area that's probably been entrenched there for a long time. How can I simplify cost but be laser focused? So number one is, again, going back and realizing that the people who are selling right now, we are seeing it. We have on our website a report called Who's Buying What. It goes out quarterly. It's blaring that the absentee owner is selling. Just recently, one of the largest coaches in the country, Tom Ferry, came out, and he made a statement 2 weeks ago at one of his global events that 32% of all sales, 32% of all sales are coming from absentee owners. Remember, they don't have to sell. So the lowest hanging fruit in this given area is going to be our out-of-state absentee owners. So let me show you how easy this is to do this. Number one, we've already mapped out in the given area our entire farm, 877 properties. The pins with nobody in it are absentee. The pins with someone in it are owner occupied. Right down here, I have an out-of-state owners button. I love clicking this when we create a farm because we never know what's going to happen. You have no idea what the number is going to be. It's almost like I'm playing bingo. So here I go. Remember up here, I've got to scroll down a little at 877. I'm going to click the button. The field is going to change. We've got 9. We've got 9 out-of-state absentee owners within this given area. Average years owned is 12. Average transfer value was 870,000. These people have equity in their property. These are the out-of-state absentees. Now, in regards to slimming costs, I just reduced that farm by 95%. Okay. I can get laser focused. I can have very specific conversations with these 9 selected people. Here's what's happening. Here's where we're seeing the success. And this is important to maybe take a couple notes on or whatnot. This is going to be more of an investor conversation. You as the agent need to take the time to research these 9 properties. You need to know when they bought it, what they bought it for. You should try to get a demographic around age and some stuff like that if you possibly can. Google them, get as much information as possible, okay? We find that finding the phone numbers on truepeoplesearch.com is free. It's one of the more accurate ones. But let me role play a little bit around what this conversation is. So I'm going to use Marie as my role play. Marie, this is David Skarman calling from REeBrokers. I'm calling you about your property in Foothill Ranch. I understand and know that you have owned this property for 12 years. And by the way, congratulations on your investment. I know this is an investment property for you. I know that you are in Arizona and you may not have your finger exactly on the pulse of what's going on economically in the state of California and with the real estate market. It is changing. It's ever changing. Boy, did it change from last year. And boy, did it change from the year prior to that. So here's where we are. On your investment property right now, we are seeing a little tick down in prices. But to maximize your investment in this property, what I'd like to do is send you some very, very, very accurate information on what's taking place so that you can maximize this investment. There's tools to help you potentially 1031 into other properties out of state or in other areas because the equity you have in this home is enormous. I want to be able to share those numbers with you. Marie, is that something you might be interested in before your investment opportunity changes?
Absolutely.
We hope they all say absolutely. Right? Okay, that was staged. Sorry. But no,
Right.
no, but it wasn't. That's real. Okay. So let's say that she says no. That's still okay. Because you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, okay, Marie, what I want to be able to do is I want to be your advisor. I want to keep you on the pulse of what's going on in the state of California, in this given area, so that when something does change and something does tick either down or up, so we can maximize this investment. Remember, this is an investment property for you. I want to help you maximize that. So if there's a change in the market, if something does take place, I'm going to be the one to go to. I want to sell your property for you. All right. And then of course she's going to say, oh, that's fantastic. Send me all the info. All right. So that's one. Now what I'm talking about is parallel farming. That's what we are a big proponent of. Parallel farming is where we simplify our costs, but we get laser focused, right? So the number one within our 877 area farm is going to be this absentee that is out of state. That's 9. So I'm going to unclick the button. Then I'm going to go back up over here. And then I'm going to go get rid of the out of state. Now I'm going to go and I am going to go absentee owner as a whole. Boom. Look at that number now has changed to 153, 17 years owned, 1,074. There's equity in those properties. This is a same kind of conversation. However, they may have their finger on the pulse a little bit more of what's going on. It's still an investment conversation. I love the out of state one because I'm the expert. I don't have to qualify myself at all. I don't have to let them know who I am. These people, it's kind of the same thing that they don't live in the property, but it's a different approach because the out of state, you're the expert, the in state, you're still the expert, but it's a little bit different conversation. So here you go. That's another parallel farm. So we took 877. We narrowed down one parallel farm to the out of state. That's 9. Then we created another parallel farm of 153 of these absentee owners. Now, what I want to do is I want to take within this, and here's one more farm, one more parallel. I am going to keep this over here, absentee owners. I'm doing both. I'm keeping it out of state and in state. Okay. I'm going to come over here to this filter. And what I want to do is I want to go to most likely to sell. Now, what does that mean? Most likely to sell. So we have created some algorithms within our own proprietary. Everything that you see here is proprietary to us. We buy the data, we create the tools. Everybody else buys a third-party tool that a third-party company has purchased the data and created the tool. So this is extremely unique to us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go within that absentee owner thing. I'm going to go most likely to sell, and I'm going to see what we get out of that. And it came up as 0 because nothing fit the algorithm. So I'll go to 25. Then I'm going to go to the top 50. And we got 3. So what does that mean? It means that out of this entire farm, there's 3 people who own their property more than anyone else, have the most equity than anyone else, right? And have paid off their loans. This is the nether lowest hanging fruit. This is the 440,000. These people have an enormous amount of equity. These people also have owned longer than anyone else. There's another parallel farm. Okay. So let me take off this filter, and then I'm going to go both. And I'm just showing you these ways. We're back to the 877. Let me go ahead and now apply. Those were absentee owners, by the way. Let me go ahead and apply now most likely to sell within that given farm. And we're down to 10. These 10 people have owned the property for 20 years, 567. Again, we have tools. We can show you how to use these. We can show you how to parallel farm within a given area. Right now, again, what we are seeing, and it is enormous, is that the absentee owners are the ones that are trying to sell. I'll give you 2 regions where it's big. San Diego is huge. For any San Diego city agent out there, the city of San Diego has come in just recently, the beginning of this year, and eliminated 48% of the short-term rentals. If I was a short-term rental owner, I would be bummed because I make more money from short-term rental than I do from an annual rental. That was not the plan. Okay. I want out of this. So 48% of all short-term rentals in San Diego have been eliminated. Los Angeles, there are so many taxes being put in place with the lack of housing, with the homeless, with all these initiatives. They just put in place this UL tax. And the UL tax is a percentage of a tax on any home over $5 million. Well, there's a lot of homes in LA over $5 million. It's tremendous right now, the opportunity that really exists in this marketplace, in the absentee. So we are here to help you 100%. We are here to train. We are here to guide. We are here to be able to help you in any way with this. And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And if there's any questions, we'd love to be able to answer them. If not, please feel free to be able to reach out to Maria and myself. We are here to help you and to guide you.
Perfect. We'll give a minute or so for some more questions. We already had 2 questions. This is being recorded. It'll be on our YouTube and email to all our agents. And another question was about 1031 transaction services. We will actually have a more detailed webinar about it next month. So I hope everyone can join and watch that. Okay, I don't see any questions coming in. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.